Hi there, Megan with Megan Thompson Coaching. Here we are today, and I want to talk to you about your highly sensitive child and whether or not they are emotionally available for learning. What does that mean, Megan? So let's figure this out together. So if you are parenting a highly sensitive child and they are struggling in the school setting, whether that means they are holding it all in and exploding at home, or they are sharing with you that they don't understand school, or they are stuck, or they are acting out with ineffective behaviors or shutting down at school, this video is for you. Okay, so we're going to pay attention to our talk today. It's going to be fairly short, so that we understand what we're focusing on. Okay, so first and foremost, highly sensitive children have a different way of experiencing the world. So if your child is struggling with paying attention in school, it can be a challenge to understand whether or not this is due to their highly sensitive nature, right? Being detail-oriented, very focused on many parts of what they're learning and digesting that and taking their time to do that, because if they're taking in more information from the world, it's going to take them longer time than somebody who's not taking in that much information to process it, right? To digest it, make sense of it, and then move on. And so this can be missed from a school setting, from a school professional. It might seem distractible or flighty or inattentive, right? And you might be getting some diagnoses that aren't a good fit, or hints at a diagnosis that's not a good fit. So you want to pay attention to this. Knowing that your child is highly sensitive is critical to be able to advocate appropriately, and knowing how your child fits the highly sensitive trait is critical in advocating in the school setting, right? So when your child's brain is wired differently, you need to be able to describe that effectively. And one of the things that you need to understand is that if you're not emotionally present in the world, right? If you're worried or distracted by your worries, or if you're feeling frustrated and you're trying not to explode, you're not going to be present. You're not going to be present to the moment. You're not going to be focused. You will be overwhelmed by any other stressor that's happening, say, for example, taking a test, or if the teacher is managing a lot in the classroom and you're worried about the teacher because you're highly sensitive, then your child may be struggling significantly with staying on task in the classroom. Okay, so this is a pretty clear sign that your child's emotionally not available to learn more because they're already overwhelmed. All right. And next is because your child's taking in more information, right? They're taking in information, they're taking in data that other children might not be taking in. How a teacher is talking, how a classmate is talking to another classmate, worried about how that might play out on the playground. All of these factors are important for you to be noticing if you're wondering if your child is highly sensitive and how that impacts their presentation in school, okay? And since they're feeling more deeply as well, worried about other children in the classroom, worried about themselves, worried about how other people might think of them, or how they might be able to manage their own emotions in the classroom, and how they might ask for help, or whether or not they can ask for help. There's a lot of uncertainty if you don't have emotional management skills for a highly sensitive child. A lot of hemming and hawing. You might see it as, some people might describe it as slow to warm up, right? Indecisive. This might be an ineffective way of describing a lack of skill in managing emotions. And highly sensitive people can really struggle with that. Children are included in that dynamic. When you don't have emotional management skills, it's harder to trust your gut on what the right fit is, and you can make decisions from fear. So your child, obviously, if they're afraid of getting the wrong answer, then they might not offer an answer at all. They'll be making their decision from fear rather than their gut sense that they know the answer, they've been studying for a while, etc. So this is another piece to really be looking at. And as a parent, you need to be able to tell the teacher how your child is emotionally available for learning. You need to be able to understand what that looks like, okay? And then also the information that your child's taking in can impede them from digesting what they just learned. So there's overwhelm with the pace of the classroom if your child is struggling like that. And so many of you might be wondering if your child's teacher is the right fit, if your child's school environment is the right fit long term, especially if your child's struggling in the school setting. And some of you might be thinking, okay, maybe I just leave the school setting and we go to a Waldorf setup, a nature classroom sort of approach, an outdoor school, Montessori, private school where there's smaller classrooms perhaps, or a higher focus on the arts, or a charter school with a higher focus on the arts or emotion management, etc. And what's important to notice is that while those paces of the classroom or those approaches to education might be different, the teacher is a wild card no matter where you go, right? And I'm not saying this by saying wild card means that teachers are bad or your child is in poor hands in any educational setting. I'm just saying it's not something you can predict. So no matter where you put your child is going to need to advocate for their needs in the education system. And in order to teach them to advocate, you need to know what it looks like for your child when your child is listening, when your child is attending, what your child how your child presents themselves in that respect, in order to tell the teacher what to watch out for, in order to make sure that the teacher's a right fit. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that you, as your child's parent, are the best person to figure out what educational setting is appropriate for your child, and also how your child is learning and whether or not your child is in the right educational setting right now, as well as tweak that educational setting, right? It's not to say that you need to change schools or even change teachers to break out of this pattern. Educators are there to help children. And it's a firm belief I have that a lot of them are quite overwhelmed. And so educators really benefit from knowing exactly what helps your child. And we see this, when children are stuck in the meltdown cycle. And so when we think about advocating for your sensitive child and tackling this one avenue of where they're stuck, you are the one who needs to lead the show. Okay, so if you want our help to discern that, you need to register for our free event coming up on Friday, February 3rd at 4 p.m. Eastern. All right, so I am going to personally walk you through how to understand how your child fits the highly sensitive trait, discern and make sure that you are understanding that concept. And then that is part of the free event. We're running a 2-part event, same day, all in one fell swoop. All right, part of it's going to be free. And part of it will be if you want to upgrade and work with me directly and ask questions and understand more about how to take this into the school setting and really become your child's school-related expert, then we'll continue on, and that training will last about 3 hours total, start to finish. And we're going to help you stay focused and make sure that you're advocating appropriately related to school. Okay, so many of you might think, okay, school is really where my child is struggling the most, and I'm not sure that I need to work with you directly, Megan, for everything, and break out of the meltdown cycle altogether. Or you're wondering if if school is really the angle to tackle first. So we have this available for you. Okay, you're going to register for that event. Again, if you want support directly from me, you can upgrade to our elite level, and we will support you. I'll help you. I keep saying we. It's me. I'm going to be there, but my team members will be helping out. And I'll walk you through the process of understanding and advocating and knowing exactly what to say and how to speak with authority on your child's educational process. And this is really critically important as parenting a highly sensitive child. You cannot be deferring to the school professionals to teach your child if your child is struggling in the school. You need to be equal player in this dynamic, and at times you need to be the director of the show. Okay, so this is something that we teach our clients to do, and they see strong success even without accessing special education support, whether their child qualified or if they never even pursued it, right? Or if they pursued it and their child didn't qualify. we still help our clients achieve success in the classroom. And we want to be able to do that for you as well. So again, short-term support, Friday, February 3rd, 2023. It's coming up. Let's get you rocking into breaking out of some ineffective patterns in your child's educational plan. A lot of people have been asking, will we do this again, right? Is there a replay? Okay. No and yes. What do I mean by that? The last time we ran a school-related separate support system was in 2019, I think, 5 years ago, or maybe even 2018. Okay. That would have been 5 years ago if I could do math. Don't worry, I'm not teaching your kid. I jest, okay? I do math, but it was either 4 or 5 years ago that we did something like this. We just haven't really seen the need nor had the time given the support that we've had in place. And now we do, okay? But I cannot guarantee you that I'll do this again this year, next year. I don't know if at all I'll do this again. All right, but we're doing it now. So take advantage. Take advantage. Make sure that you register and get started, and then upgrade to the elite level to receive direct support. And we'll break it down what you need. We'll answer questions. It'll be interactive. I'll double check how you're advocating, how you're describing your child. We'll knock that out in this consultation here. Okay. Next is understanding what you need to do. You got to go to meganthompsoncoaching.com/school to register. Okay. You will get access to the replay if you register. All right. You'll get access to the whole thing if you register and upgrade to elite. And then there will be limited access to the replay for the free event. We're not going to give that. We're not going to give unlimited access for those who access it for free. But in order to access it all together, you will have to register no matter what. Okay, to access any of it, you'll have to register. So make sure you do that. All right, and then the replay will be accessible for those who upgrade for the whole thing. Let's get you supported. Let's get you breaking out of this pattern. If you have questions, go ahead and ask them at the bottom of this video. Myself, my team will take a look later today and help you in that respect. Answer any questions that you might have, making sure that this is the right fit for you. Happy to support you in that as well.